Belarus is no longer just a backdrop to the war in Ukraine. Quiet preparations, structured coordination, and sustained readiness are turning it into an active, strategic reference point. Recent reports suggest that missile-capable systems linked to Russia's Oreshnik platform have entered combat duty preparations on Belarusian territory. This is not about a single deployment or a sudden escalation. It is about posture, how readiness, logistics, and integration quietly reshape the regional balance. To understand why this matters, we need to move beyond headlines and examine what modern combat duty actually signals in today's security environment. Belarus occupies a unique position in the regional security landscape. Geographically, it sits between Russia, Ukraine, and NATO's eastern flank. Strategically, it functions as both a buffer and a platform, shaping how military posture is perceived across Eastern Europe. When combat-capable systems enter duty status on Belarusian territory, the significance lies less in immediate action and more in readiness and signaling. This type of deployment does not automatically indicate escalation. Instead, it reflects an effort to expand operational depth, improve response flexibility, and reinforce deterrence narratives. Belarus's role is also defined by preparation rather than surprise. Infrastructure, personnel accommodation, communications, and power support are essential components of modern military operations. Their readiness suggests long-term planning rather than short-term maneuvering. In this context, Belarus becomes more than a transit space. It becomes part of a broader strategic framework where presence, preparedness, and coordination quietly influence how regional stability is assessed. Beyond geography, what stands out in Belarus is the level of preparation involved. Modern military deployments are no longer defined only by hardware, but by the systems that support it. Reports indicate that launch crews, communications units, security elements, power supply teams, and vehicle operators underwent retraining using modern simulation and training equipment before entering combat duty status. This highlights an emphasis on integration and standardization, ensuring that personnel, command structures, and technical systems operate seamlessly. Such preparation suggests readiness over immediacy. Rather than signaling an urgent battlefield requirement, it points to sustained operational capability, designed to function reliably over time. In modern warfare, this type of readiness is often more significant than visible troop movements. It allows forces to adapt quickly, maintain tempo, and project stability without constant escalation. From a geopolitical perspective, developments in Belarus resonate far beyond its borders. Any change in military posture here is closely observed by neighboring states, NATO planners, and regional security analysts. The presence of missile-capable systems on Belarusian territory reshapes strategic calculations, not through action, but through potential. It extends operational reach, complicates defense planning, and reinforces deterrence messaging without crossing clear red lines. For NATO and European states, this does not necessarily represent immediate escalation. Instead, it adds another layer to an already complex security environment, where preparedness and signaling often matter as much as deployments themselves. Belarus, in this sense, becomes part of a broader geopolitical dialogue, where military readiness, alliance coordination, and strategic ambiguity coexist. The message is subtle but clear. Posture and preparedness are now central tools of influence in modern geopolitics. What is happening in Belarus is not defined by headlines or immediate action. It is defined by posture. The presence of combat-ready systems, trained personnel, and integrated support structures reflects how modern power is positioned, not rushed. In today's security environment, influence is often exercised through readiness, coordination, and the ability to sustain operations over time. This does not determine outcomes, nor does it signal inevitable escalation. But it reshapes calculations. It alters how risks are assessed, how responses are planned, and how stability is perceived across the region. Belarus, in this context, becomes more than a location. It becomes a strategic signal, one that highlights how modern geopolitics increasingly operates in the space between action and anticipation. This video is created for educational and analytical purposes based on publicly available information and open-source analysis. Some visuals or narration may be assisted by AI technology for illustrative purposes and do not represent direct documentation. This content does not promote violence, does not take sides, and does not seek to justify military actions by any party. The discussion focuses on understanding strategic, operational, and geopolitical dynamics in a complex security environment. Information may evolve over time, and viewers are encouraged to approach this content critically and consult multiple sources for broader context.